Hey guys, this is Dan Book Nook Nugget, and I wanted to share with you Absolute Batman the Zoo. This is volume 1. First off, I want to say I had heard from an acquaintance, somebody that I talked to that was also into comics, that had told me about DC's All In, and they had told me about the Absolute Universe. And they had told me about Batman, and when they had talked to me about Batman, they basically had told me take every expectation, everything you know to be true about Batman, and kind of throw it out the window because this Batman is so radically different, and I can kind of see where they're coming from now after having read this. So we have this Batman. No, he is not a rich playboy. He's jacked like Bane, and I think that's kind of ironic because at the end of Volume 1, the villains decide to call in Bane, and it makes me anxious and want to read Volume 2 just to see what Bane looks like, because the other known villains from the Batman universe or universes are totally different. They're friends with Bruce Wayne Batman and Absolute Batman, and I did not expect that. But in this universe, Martha Wayne is alive, and it is his father, Thomas Wayne, who has been shot down. But all of the known Bat villains are kind of, they grew up with Bruce, and they're friends of his, like Killer Croc is not a crocodile, and he's a guy who runs a boxing business. And Edward Nygma is like a science nerdy kind of guy, and there's the Joker, but he's not friends with Batman, but he's different too. And we have the Black Mask and all that, and this is a really interesting, all new, different take on Batman. This does give me vibes and feels of The Dark Knight Returns. It kind of has, it feels like Frank Miller's Dark Knight. Like, this Absolute Batman kind of reminds me of that version of Batman. If you want to compare him to any known Batman Dark Knight / character, I'm going to say that's mostly, we're leaning towards that because that's the way this one feels. I really did enjoy this. I liked the artwork. I liked the pacing, the way the story went. It didn't fall too heavily on what we already know to be true on the lore, the typical lore or canon, you could say, for Batman. I like that this who wrote this? Okay, it's Snyder, Scott Snyder. I like the fact that Scott Snyder kind of made this Batman his own thing, and I really enjoyed it. And it does collect single issues, Absolute Batman number 1 through 6. But, I will have a link down below to Amazon if you want to pick this up for yourself. I will also have the link to my coffee if you want to help support my channel by, buying me a coffee or two. That's all I really can say about this. There isn't really too much more I can say about this. I plan on reading Absolute Wonder Woman sometime in the near future. I also want to read Volume 2 of this. But, until then, this is what we got. This is where it's at. And if you would like to go check this out for yourself, I will have the link down below. If you came here looking for more stuff like this, hit that subscriber button, hit that notification bell, and until next time, later, guys.